When we think of football on Merseyside, our minds naturally go to Liverpool and Everton, but not many of us think of Tranmere Rovers. Today we're changing the narrative. Today we're going to not only make Tranmere the biggest club in Merseyside, but the biggest club in England and Europe. But we can only do it signing players from Merseyside clubs, only being able to sign players from Everton and Liverpool. It's time to make them the biggest club in Merseyside whilst also bringing the other two down. But holy hell, do we have a journey ahead of us. This Tranmere side, I know they're a League 2 side, but this is one of the worst League 2 sides I've used in terms of a rebuild aspect. There isn't even many young players that I can really hang my hat on. This is an aging and low-rated squad, and not a rich one either. I think the first few years are going to be incredibly difficult here, especially when you consider that most of the young talent that we can afford has already been loaned out at this stage of the career mode, so we have slim pickings here in Season 1 at both clubs. And we've already come into a problem. With our limited budget, I've tried to sign Harrison Armstrong and Trey and Yoni, and both of them fell through because I couldn't afford their wages. And that's the frustrating thing. I'm having to pay £11,000, if not more, to bring in a 62 rated player. Take the pay cut, lads. Your careers will thank you for it. I'll pay you the big bucks one day, I promise. So immediately, I want us selling as many players as possible. Josh Hawke's the first victim, heading to Red Star Paris. Connor Jennings is off to Lincoln City. And Brad Walker heads to Rodé. And that means we have finally been able to finance a signing. Have I overpaid for him in terms of wages? Absolutely. But the ball has started rolling. Trey and Yoni joining us from Liverpool for £600,000. And we get our first Evertonian as well, Roman Dixon, joining us for £550,000. I do intend on having Lee O'Connor as our starting right back though. So what I'm going to do is convert Roman Dixon to a left back because our prospects there are absolutely horrid. And there we go. Roman Dixon officially a left back. Gonna get to a 63 overall in about 5 weeks as well, which is brilliant. I want to see if we can make one more signing though before the window closes. And I'm aiming for it to be in between the sticks. So we're selling Luke McGee. We get our man. It's just about the only option we can afford, but I'm glad we got somebody in at least. It's a 2 overall decrease, but he's 8 years younger. Harvey Davies signs from Liverpool. So we're starting from humble beginnings. I feel like we're going to be able to get so much more into our work once all the loaned out youngsters at Liverpool and Everton come back in season 2. But I feel like we've done the best with what we had on offer here so far in the opening transfer window. I think it's going to be a brutal opening couple of seasons. And I think we're going to get worse before we get better at Tranmere, but I hope to be proven wrong. Yep. Wasn't wrong. We're not getting promoted this year. We're sitting 20. Thank God we cannot get relegated to the National League. We sit 21st right now on 24 points. Unless we go on some sort of a miracle run in the second season, the playoffs look so far out of reach. Unfortunately, we will not be able to sign Mo Salah with our £136,000 to save the season. Yeah, nah. First season doesn't count, lads. First season, that means nothing. We come third last in League 2. Oh, what have I signed myself up for? MK Dons have won the league. Nobody likes that. Man City win the FA Cup. First round exit for us. Also a first round exit for us in the Carabao Cup. My God, we've had a shocking season, man. Bristol Street Motors Trophy. The one I wanted the most, we did terribly in. And Gillingham will be heading up to League 1. Luke Norris has had a decent season, but unfortunately, I don't want to waste being in League 2 and getting the opportunity to have dynamic player potential on a 32-year-old striker. I'm hopeful we can get some attacking players into the club next year. The guys we did sign though, Harvey Davies goes up to a 63. Roman Dixon's had a great year, up to a 65. And Inyoni showing great potential and up to a 65 as well. So decent hope there. We will be saying goodbye to Saidu Khan though, who returns back to Swindon Town. Some serious work is necessary though as we enter season 2. I'm happy to report that we have more options here in season 2. Unfortunately though, our striker options were incredibly limited. It was basically either sign Diogo Jota, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Neil Maupay, or the man that we ended up signing. And that is going to be Francis Okoronkwo, who we pick up from Everton for £800,000. Another Evertonian will be joining us, this time at the defensive midfield position. 20-year-old Jensen Metcalf signing on for £500,000. Few players to get rid of though. Cameron Norman heading to Odense. Sam Finley joins the Polish league. And well, we won't be able to sign Ryan Gravenberch. He's joined into Milan. But I want us going in for a centre-back. we're selling Tom Davies. No, not the former Everton midfielder, our centre-back to Leyton Orient. There we go. We get our man. I'm pumped about this one. 24 years of age, 65 overall. He might not be here when we win a Champions League, but I think he's going to be very important to getting us up the divisions. It is Reece Williams. The Liverpool defender signs on for £700,000. We're doing the best with what we have. I just keep telling myself that. This is the starting 11 coming into season 2. I'm hoping Okoronkwo and Yoni, these guys can be absolute studs, but we need to get some of these old guard out. We need more money, man. I just don't want to be bottom of the table come January 1st. Okay, this is a nice surprise. We are currently holding an automatic promotion spot. Last year we were third last. This year we're third from the top. I would definitely like to see though if we could make a splash here in the January window. So I'm going to sell our backup striker Josh Davison to Fleetwood, whilst also saying goodbye to Kieran Morris. I think it's time for us to get a starting right mid. Mission successful. Welcome to Tranmere, Cade Gordon. I'm hoping this right midfield can be a huge part of our promotion push. I want us to win League 2 this year. Open up the trophy cabinet, lads. Tranmere Rovers are champions of League 2. We're going to win our first trophy as Tranmere Gaffer, and we are most importantly heading up to League 1. This is a much better year than I expected. We end up finishing 5 points clear of Notts County and 11 points clear of Cambridge. We made it up with a month to go. And I don't ever want to see our name at the bottom in the mix with Bromley and Crew Alexandra ever again. Chelsea win at the FA Cup this year. Unfortunately, we might be League 2 champions, but we are not doing crap in the cup. Man City win the Carabao Cup. Did we make it past the first round there? We did not. We lost to Coventry. MK Dons win the BSM trophy. We actually made it to the round of 16. And Stockport County will be joining us in League 1 next year. Regan Hendry was our golden boot winner though this year. 33 goal contributions for the Scotsman. Patrick's had a great year. I want to upgrade on that position, but I'm glad he's been a good placeholder. A little disappointed with the stats there of Okoronkwo. Didn't play the full season, but 12 and 2. Cade Gordon came in though in the second half and had a phenomenal half a year. Trey Nioni up to a 71 overall as well. Coming into this third season, our squad depth is absolutely shocking and concerningly, purely from a numbers perspective. I mean, these guys have terrible overalls, but Dennis and Norris are both retiring at the end of the season. So to be honest, I think I'm only going for signings this year. So the first guy I'm signing is Lucas Stevenson, but this is a bit of an experimental move and I'll show you why. So Lucas Stevenson is a right back. I've already got a right back that I'm happy with for now in Leo Connor, but his secondary position is right wing. I want him to end up playing left wing. I mean, I could convert Cade Gordon. How long is it going to take him though to go to right wing? It is going to take 81 weeks. Oh, that is not ideal. What I'm going to do, I'm going to convert him to a left midfielder. It's going to take most of the year though, but it's the only option we really have. My second signing at the window might surprise some of you guys. I'm signing Mason Holgate. He's 29 years of age. He's 71 overall. This is purely an overall play. This is a play to hopefully get us from League 1 to the Championship while I fill in other positions of the park. Mason Holgate, I didn't expect to sign him today, but I'm not mad about signing him either. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but with the way his career's kind of been going, this feels more like a realistic transfer more than anything. And thinking about our future centre-back options, I've signed Elijah Campbell as a young centre-back, but I'm going to look to get him a loan move this season. And that's exactly what we do as Campbell heads to Hull, which is ironic given they're a league above us, but we'll make it make sense anyways. All things considered, I'm very happy with how this team is looking. Hendry and O'Connor are the last two guys that are from this original Tranmere side in the starting 11. Honestly, my goal is just not to get relegated again, but anything could happen this year. I would probably argue priority number 1 for me right now is getting Stevenson to a left midfielder as quick as possible. All right. This is not ideal. We're 3 points from safety right now. Gillingham on 20, Shrewsbury 19, Burton Albion 16, Wimbledon 11. We're on 23. We are no chance essentially of getting ourselves promoted, but we just need to make sure we don't get relegated, which isn't going to be easy given we don't have any money right now. Lucas Stevenson's progress is coming along nicely, those 6 weeks, so I'm hoping that can give us a little boost in the second half of the year, but I'm going to have to stick with what we have right now. Here we go, boys. Stevenson officially a left midfielder. Beautiful. All right, it's going to take another 17 weeks to make him a winger. I'm fine with that. Let's get him there by the end of the season. All right, we're safe, boys. We ended up turning it on in the second half of the year. 15 points clear of Northampton, who go down alongside Burton Albion, Shrewsbury and Wimbledon. We stay up in League One here with Tranmere. We got 56 points, nowhere near the playoff picture, but it's Sheffield Wednesday and Peterborough heading up to the championship. Chelsea beat Burnley to win the FA Cup. We made it to the 4th round. I'll take that. Brighton win the Carabao. We beat Cardiff in the 1st round. Damn, we all went on a run there as well. Round of 16 where we lost to Brighton, the eventual champions. Bolton win the BSM trophy. No run there. And Bolton will also top off an impressive season with promotion to the championship. What a season though for Cade Gordon. I'm happy about this. 30 goal contributions, 23 and 7. What is going on with Okoronkwo? He cannot get a full season under his belt. 13 goals. He's progressing nicely, but I need him to be just absolutely abusing dynamic player potential early on here. Elijah Campbell going up to a 66 on his first season at Hull, though. I wanted more out of him. But as we previously mentioned, we will be saying goodbye to Luke Norris and Christian Dennis, who got down to 38 overall, as both of them retire. We tried to bring Harrison Armstrong in season 1, had to choose between him and Nyoni, but we've got both of them in the midfield now. It only took us 4 seasons, but Harrison Armstrong signs for just under £2.5 million. But both Everton and Liverpool's teams are actually really good. There are not many other players I can go in to even afford to sign, so I'm gonna bring the only one I can in. It is the backup goalkeeper, Fabian Mrozek, joining us from Liverpool. It might be a blessing in disguise because we need to build up our depth, but Mrozek is going to join us as a backup goalkeeper. But my God, man, we need to get ourselves promoted so we can actually get some serious transfer budget. Stevenson, finally a left winger. Vamos! O'Connor hanging on by a thread. Honestly, I could have sold off some players, but there is no right backs we could go in for. It's almost like there was a right back that I took last season. I do not want us in the relegation battle though. Gordon and Nyoni are 75 overall. They should not be playing in League One. They should be pushing for Premier League football at the moment. I want exactly what happened in League 2 to happen this year, and that is a 2nd season title. I'm here at the end of season 4, and we are heading to the playoffs. Finishing 5th right now, 78 points. We had a slow start to the season, which has cost us. Derby and Huddersfield are heading up to the championship, but it's between us, Portsmouth, Blackpool, and Stockport to get ourselves up to League One, up to the championship rather. Relegation zone, glad we're not near there anymore. Port Vale, Bradford, Gillingham, and Notts County. Liverpool win the FA Cup. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing for us. We went out in the 3rd round to Swansea. Newcastle win the Carabao Cup. 3rd round exit there to Man City. Portsmouth win the BSM trophy, but now it's time for the big one. How do we go in the playoffs? We lost in the semi-finals. We lost in the semi-finals to Blackpool. Blackpool versus Portsmouth, and Portsmouth are heading up to the championship out in the semi-finals. It's going to be another season for us in League One, but that gives another opportunity for some of our star players to absolutely crush it. Okonkwo gets the full season under his belt, gets himself 25 goals. I'm hoping that might be the spark that he needs to really get going in this rebuild. Gordon is a beast though. I feel bad keeping him in League One this long, but I'm hopeful that, again, that's just going to make his dynamic player potential go berserk. Great season from Stevenson as well. Campbell's going to be coming back next season. He's going to be 67 overall. I might honestly just keep him as a backup because Holgate and Williams are holding the fort at the moment, both 72 overall. Could look for an upgrade there, but I think my priority is right back. Frustratingly, though, we're going to be saying goodbye to 2 players that I would have been very happy to keep in our squad. Declan Drysdale and Connor Wood, both of them rejecting contract extensions and departing at the end of this 4th season. No question about it. We made the playoffs this year, but next year, we need to go for the League One title. To start season 5, I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news, I found a right back that I think we can get. The bad news, can't afford him right now, so I'm going to get to work to make sure we can afford him. He's been a stud for us, but Omari Patrick, it is time to go to Plymouth Argyle. And if we're going to try signing a right back, we may as well cash in on our current right back in order to try financing it. The Irishman Lee O'Connor heads to Magdeburg for 1.1 mil. There we go. We got our man. I'm pumped about this one. We've been struggling at the right back position for so long, but we have signed the son of Petr Cech. It is Dennis Cech, young right back from Liverpool. He's a regen, so he's not actually Petr Cech's son, just for clarification, but we're signing for £5.5 million. And from a pure squad depth perspective, I'm going for the cheapest player available between these 2 clubs, a young Mexican striker by the name of Alex Garcia. The starting 11 is coming along nicely. I did think, honestly, maybe we sell someone like Nyoni and use the money we would get from him, which would probably be like £30 million now, to finance the rest of the squad. Like, get a £5 million centre back, get a £5 million striker, really build out the bench. I'm debating doing that, but I'm also thinking he could become a legend at the club if we keep it rolling. That being said, I don't think I'm going to be selling anybody from here on in. Our squad numbers are horrible. I think if I'm to sell one player, I'd have to replace them from 2 players moving forward. Once again, I'm going to simulate to the end of the season unless something crazy happens halfway through it, but I think this is the squad we have to stick with, and I'm hoping it is a squad that can comfortably get us promoted. Oh, we miss out on the League One title by 1 point, but end of the day, it's okay because we have finally been promoted to the championship after 5 seasons here at Tranmere. This has been the definition of slow but steady. Scrolling down the table, it's going to be Fleetwood, Burton, Wrexham, and Mansfield heading down. Man City have won the FA Cup. We made it! We made it to the FA Cup semi-finals, where we lost to Arsenal 11-10 on penalties. Imagine, we would have had to have a huge task to take down Man City, but imagine if we had been promoted to the championship, but had won the FA Cup and were competing in European football. That would have been insane. It is the exact same final though in the Carabao Cup. Unfortunately, no semi-finals for us there. But we do win the BSM trophy. You don't win that too often, so hopefully we're never going to be able to compete in that again. So we're going out on top. EFL Trophy champions. And Sheffield Wednesday will be joining us in Blackpool in the championship. Cade Gordon. Oh my God. 52 goal contributions for Cade Gordon. He's up to an 80 overall. I'm glad we're in the championship because imagine if an 80 rated Cade Gordon was still competing in League One. And Yoni's up to an 84. Oh my God. Francis has had a great year, but he's still only 73. We're going to have so many questions as to what we do next year because our team we could genuinely get back-to-back promotions. Heading up to the championship, I am praying that we have some decent budget and I'm praying we can make some necessary additions to this squad. We're into the championship and I am focused solely on signings this year. We need to fill our squad depth. I will not be selling anybody. But our first signing is a young Frenchman by the name of Alexis Pierre. That's the most French name I've ever heard. Second man in, an attacking midfield by the name of Maloud Hassan. Tyler Onyango joins us as a backup center midfielder. And our final signing, a Nigerian right midfielder by the name of Daniel Ali. I am going to look for loan moves for 2 of these guys though because they look pretty decent. Pierre to Sturm Graz. And Hassan is heading to Rio Ave. This rebuild has just been so unlike anything I've done in a while. We've got some absolute superstars, but then in other areas, the team is just so unbalanced. I think when you take a step back and look at it, I think this team is a decent championship side. Superstars aside, I think we shouldn't be in the relegation battle, but stranger things have happened. Okay, so far so good. 1st of January, we sit 8th in the championship with Tranmere. On the edge of playoff football, 1 point away from Preston right now. This is going to be a huge second half of the season. We are 11 points off Middlesbrough, so automatic promotion isn't out of the picture, although it'll be hard. More importantly, we're 20 points clear of the relegation zone. Portsmouth on 18 points. That's the bigger plus. Oh my God, we finish 7th. Look at the amount of draws. 19 draws. Only 9 losses, which is the same amount Fulham have as they get promoted alongside Leeds United. But 19 draws have got us 7th in the championship. We miss out on the playoffs. That is brutal. Relegation zone in season 6 is Cardiff, Portsmouth, Blackpool. Newcastle win the FA Cup. 3rd round exit at Burnley. Man City win the Carabao Cup. 1st round exit there. And it is going to be Birmingham City winning the playoffs and getting promoted to the Premier League. Francis is having a not late career, but he's having a bit of a renaissance here. He's finally starting to put up some insane numbers. 75 overall, 25, very serviceable striker at the moment. Bro, Trey and Yoni is 89 overall, 13 and 13. What's his financial stats? 177 mil. Dude, I'm genuinely considering selling him, getting like 200 million and investing the crap out of our squad. Oh, I'm so conflicted, man. That could help us so much. I think it's going to depend on the type of players available to us next season and what our budget's looking at, but I'm tempted to do it, man. And honestly, that might be the good move. We're going to lose 3 more players to our squad. Sol Solomon, Harvey Saunders, and Jordan Turnbull all leaving the club. I don't care about losing them. I care about losing the squad depth numbers. Some massive, massive questions heading into season 7. So I came into this season almost convinced that I was going to sell Inyoni. But looking at the squad, I'm actually pretty happy with the development of our squad. Our 75 guys are in their mid-20s. They're going to get some more growth, and they're going to be enough for the championship. Our real problem area is at the centre-back role. Holgate's 33. He's going down rapidly in overall. Williams is 29. He's not going to grow anymore. Our budget sits at £8 million, which isn't the best, but for championship standards, it is what it is. But when I look at the current centre-back offerings at Everton, nobody really strikes my fancy. You've got Nathan Ake, you've got Luke Barde, Sirasadi, Nathan. None of these guys are young options. If I'm not going to sacrifice selling Inyoni, getting £200 million and getting some guys that are going to be good for a couple of years, Sirasadi maybe a little longer. And the same thing here with Liverpool. The only centre-backs they have in their entire squad is Sula and Van de Ven. I'm not gonna blow up our best asset to bring in a 34-year-old centre-back who's 83 rated. So I'm going to do things kind of back to front. A lot of the times I don't do any business in January. I'm not going to do any business here in the summer. I'm going to hold on to our budget, hold on to all of our assets, see if one of these clubs picks up a player through the transfer system in the summer, and then maybe I can strike for them in the January window. And at the very least, there are some young prospects that if we don't have a centre-back that we want to go in for, I could just continue to booster out the squad depth. So unless something crazy happens, I'm going to take us to January. Hopefully we're sitting top of the championship, and hopefully we have a clear indication of who we want in season 7. Step 1 of it's complete. We sit second right now. Our destiny in our control to get to the Premier League is all taken care for at the moment, but I want us to find somebody. Please give me somebody at the centre-back role, because Mason Holgate, who's retiring at the end of the season, is rapidly decreasing. Campbell's a 71. Honestly, if I can't find somebody, I might bring Alexis Pierre back and be the centre-back for this season. So Everton signed Mika Marmel. They lost the one guy that I was actually tempted to sign in Alessandro Sirasadi. Everton's squad is old, man. And yeah, nobody brought to Liverpool. All right, we're kind of in a tough spot right now. I could almost try going in for Nicolas Sula. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring Pierre back from his loan spell here. He's going to move into the starting 11. And we're going to use the rest of the money into building out the squad even further. Young Serbian defensive midfielder by Novak joins us. And somebody that I actually find quite enticing here. 16 years of age, 70 overall, Japanese defensive midfielder. His name is Hashimoto. I'm picking him up from Liverpool, and I'm immediately looking for a loan for this kid. We get Liverpool trying to re-sign Dennis Cech. I mean, if I'm going to sell a player that I still kind of have a bit of hope for, I am going to look to sell them back to Liverpool or Everton so we can keep the door open, but Dennis Cech is going nowhere. Hashimoto will be, though. The Japanese wonder kid heading to Las Palmas on a short-term loan. We have absolutely crapped the bed in the second half of the season, man. We drop out of the automatic spots all the way down to 5th position. Oh, we've got to go through the gauntlet. That is the championship playoffs. If we do not get promoted this year, I'm going to be at such a crossroads. This is taking so long. Leicester and Ipswich automatically go out. We're battling with Burnley, Norwich, and Coventry. To be fair though, I'm grateful we're not down in the positions with Sheffield Wednesday, Barnsley, and Bolton. Brentford win the FA Cup. West Ham win the Carabao Cup. Our feeder system, Liverpool, shitting it. Okay, we've taken down Norwich, and we're going to be facing 6th place Coventry in the promotion playoff final. 5th versus 6th. Are we heading to the Premier League? We are. We are heading to the Premier League with Tranmere. The Merseyside strategy is paying off finally. Okay, Francis Okoronkwo has gone from being a bit of a straggler to now being one of our star players. He's surely going to retain his spot as we enter the Premier League. 38 goals here this season. Armstrong is 86. And Inyoni is 91. Honestly, Gordon's 86. We could, oh my God, we've got some players that we could win a Champions League with right now. They're all in their early to mid 20s. If we can get some good pickups next year in a decent budget, we might not be that far off winning a Champions League. On his 6 months at Las Palmas, Hashimoto gets 0 growth there, which is a little concerning. Hassan coming back next season, 73 overall. And we will be saying goodbye to Regan Hendry and Mason Holgate, who retire, and Ruben Egan, who I'm letting walk. Premier League bound with Tranmere. Let's see what the future holds. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, every available centre-back between Everton and Liverpool are 30 or 31 years of age, but we desperately need a centre-back in this survival campaign. So I've decided to sign the one that I consider to be the most logical, and that is the Brazilian centre-back Nathan. He joins us from Everton for £28 million. That's just about half of our promotion money gone in one signing. And I think it's time for us to go for a new goalkeeper as well. I'm selling Harvey Davies, just shy of 8 mil to Stolzberg. And similarly to the centre-backs, the goalkeeper options were either ridiculously out of our price range or ridiculously too young. But we have signed the guy that I think is perfectly in the middle. There's a little more grace period with the aging when it comes to goalkeepers in this game, but we've signed ourselves a 29-year-old goalkeeper, 84 overall. It is the Dane, Philippe Jorgensen. He's going to be an awesome addition here, and surely we're going to be so far from the relegation battle. We pick him up for £20 million on the dot. It was only 6 months before for Hashimoto. Now I'm giving him 2 years to see if he can get the job done and grow. I would like to think that we end up nowhere near the Premier League relegation zone. I mean, we've got some world-class players here. Our 2 additions definitely didn't hurt, but man, I never know when it comes to rebuilds. I never know when it comes to especially the first season. I could see us ending up in the relegation battle or being in the Champions League battle. We'll get a better idea though as we get to January. But if you guys have made it this far in the video and you aren't subscribed and you're enjoying the content, go ahead, scorpion kick that subscribe button down below. On the push towards 600,000 subscribers this year. I need to stop here though because we have our first matchup with Liverpool, our first Merseyside derby for this rebuild away at Anfield. Can we make something magical happen? We get a draw. We get a draw against Liverpool. That's better than I was expecting. I want to see how we go against Everton. All right, we're versing Everton here in December. Let's see how it plans out. Come on, can we get one win over the Merseyside's clubs? No, it's another 2-2 draw. Francis missed a penalty against his former side. 2-2 draw against Everton as well. But on the 1st of January, we are sitting 9th in the Premier League right now. I mean, we are a shot. We're only 7 points away from 4th place Tottenham. We're only 8 points away from the Premier League title right now. On the flip side of the coin, we're 10 points clear from safety. Everton currently bottom of the table, which is crazy to see. But 9th in the Premier League, I want us to grow from here. We don't have the capabilities to get the best of the best right now, but I'm going to pick up a young Italian prospect, Fabio D'Angelo. Attacking midfield prospect, bagged him from Liverpool. I'm throwing him on the loan list. No surprise, we had clubs lining up to get Fabio, but the Italian's heading on a short loan to Mallorca. Keep your head on, buddy. Keep yourself out of trouble, okay? I mean, he's only 17, so he's not legally allowed to drink right now, so I'm hoping that's going to help him. Don't party too hard. 7th in the Prem. Is that going to sneak us into... I think that might sneak us into Conference League, dependent on other results. I was hoping we'd be... I mean, we finished 11 points behind Liverpool. Ultimately, it's our first season in the Prem, so just surviving relegation that's a good thing, but... I hope we've got some sort of European football next year. This was a pretty low-scoring Premier League season, though. Man City winning the league on 76 points and going down. Man United almost go down. Everton have gone down, though. And honestly, I want to feed on the carcass next year. I want to go in and steal their best players. It is probably good for us to have, Everton getting relegated is probably a bad thing for us, though, because them getting relegated limits how much they can spend, limits their star attractiveness, and then limits the amount of good quality players we can try bringing in. So Everton getting relegated is probably long-term a bad thing for us. Oh my God, we lost the FA Cup final to Newcastle. We lost the FA Cup final to Newcastle. Arsenal win the Carabao Cup. And we're going to take a look around at the European competitions for the first time. Real Madrid win an El Clasico Champions League final. PSG win the Europa League. And Valencia win the Conference League. Cade Gordon is an absolute beast. 88 overall. And Yoni is a 93 overall. And is 24 years of age. Oh my God. Concerningly though, we might have to go look for a striker next year. Okoronkwo hasn't had a great year in the Premier League, only 12 goals. Stevenson gets himself 12 goals and he's 28 years of age. So on one hand, we've got some absolutely insane players, and on another, we're in desperate need of some upgrades. D'Angelo up to a 73 overall. Hashimoto, still another year for him to add Herenveen, but he goes up to a 72. We will be saying goodbye to Chris Merry, wishing him a merry time wherever he ends up. Can confirm Conference League coming our way here in season number 9. And I agree with our board. I want us to win it all. But I'm going to make some big moves here in season number 9. Some starting 11 players and some prospects going other ways. Jensen Metcalf, I've sold him to Torino. And the big big one. Francis Okoronkwo. I want a new striker, and there's one I've eyed up in Everton scraps. He heads to Brentford. There was no way I was going to get £45 million. These market values, these possible deals are always so far off. Relegated last season with Everton, he finds himself back in Europe this year. It is Mark Yu joining us from Everton. The Spaniard signs on. I'm excited about it. He signs on under market value, £40 million for the 26-year-old. Heading to Liverpool for our new CDM, it's Italian Rafael Bianchi joining us for 13 mil. He's an interesting one. We got him under market value because he had 12 months remaining on his contract. 13 mil for a 23-year-old, 80 overall. It's not going to set the world alight, but I think long-term we'll be happy with this. Speaking of Italians, we're going to send Fabio D'Angelo on a 2-year loan move to Nice. But when it comes to who I brought in at centre-back, this is really the perfect transfer. This is the best of both worlds. Signing Quansah isn't anything too outrageous. I mean, he's a Liverpool player, isn't he, Jared? You signed him from Liverpool, didn't you, Jared? Nope. I picked him up from Everton. Jarrad Quansah. I signed from Everton for 24 mil. Outrageous stuff. I was trying to bag Archie Gray from Everton, but he's just, even with the fire sale, he's too far out of our wheelhouse. Oh my God. All right. This is the team we're at right now. I look at this team, assuming that Bianchi's going to grow a little bit. I look at this team and I think we're in a really good position. Dixon and Stevenson definitely stand out like sore thumbs in terms of the long-term department. Curious how Quansah, Nathan, and Jorgensen go. I assume we're probably going to have to upgrade them at least one more time on our path to a hopeful Champions League title. But in the short term, I want us winning the Conference League, but most importantly, I want us qualifying for the Champions League. Oh my God, we've missed out on a Premier League title on goal differential. I'm bloody stoked to be in the Champions League next year. We're officially higher than Liverpool and Everton, obviously, but we could have been Premier League champions with Tranmere, our defense letting us down. Oh my God, man. Man City mid-table, which is beautiful to see. Fulham, Burnley, Norwich get relegated. I want to see, did Everton get promoted? Everton did. Everton back in the Premier League next year, which I'm happy about. We've won the FA Cup though. Come on, fellas. We lost it last year, but we win it this year. Massive. I mean, I'm a little sad we could have done the double guaranteed, but we have won the FA Cup. West Ham win the Carabao Cup. Real Madrid win the Champions League. Excited to be there next season. Villarreal win the Europa League. We ended up going undefeated in league phase play in the Conference League, which is beautiful. Not a single loss. Skip the playoffs into the round of 16. In the round of 16, we go out to Hearts. Are you actually kidding me? We lost to Hearts 3-1 across 2 legs. 3-1 in the first leg, 3-1 in the second leg. Oh my God, we've bottled that, man. Absolutely bottled that. Real Betis end up winning the final there. What a first season though at Tranmere. 40 goal contributions. Cade Gordon. Holy hell, man. Where's Nioni? Nioni could be the best midfielder in the world right now. 94 overall, 25 years of age. I mean, if we can find ourselves a good left winger, a good left back, we're going to have the money. We could seriously have a crack at the Champions League next year. Bianchi up to an 83, which is beautiful too. Hashimoto up to a 74. I'm not going to lie. He's still progressing nicely, but I'm disappointed compared to what I thought he would be at. D'Angelo up to a 75, still another year on loan for him. Dixon did get up to an 83 this year though, which is better than I expected. So for me, really, the top priority for next year is hoping we can go all in for a new left winger. We're entering double digits in this rebuild, season 10, and we're finally in the Champions League. This is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. He's technically not a left winger. He's a right midfielder, but we can easily sort this out. But I would be stupid not to pour essentially my entire budget into Olise. He's 88 overall. He is older, so it's definitely a compromise. It's definitely a win now type of mentality, but I think our whole team is a win now, especially with the defense. Olise joins us from Liverpool for £58 million. And unsurprisingly, it's only going to take us 2 weeks to convert Olise, so I'm fine with that. Olise is officially a left winger, and that bumps him up to an 89 overall. So we've got 89 Olise, 89 Gordon, 90 Armstrong, 95 Nyoni. Jorgensen's up to an 87. Jorgensen, check to an 84. Man, I'm happy with this team. The bench it's not as strong as I would hope, but it's still pretty damn good. No surprise to see us down the bottom of the rankings when it comes to the Champions League, but We have our draw. We know who we're versing. So we start things off against the Yellow Submarine in Villarreal. Kind of hoping we get like Liverpool. Obviously, we can't get Everton. We got Rapid. October, we're versing Cypriot team Apoel. Away in Italy against Udinese. Away then against PSG. Slavia Prague. Away to Porto. And we end it home to Dortmund. So we need a really, really strong opening 4 games. Because I want everything this year. I want a Premier League. I want another FA Cup. I want the Community Shield. But most importantly, I want the Champions League. We're here on the 1st of January. We have a game in hand on essentially everybody. Currently sitting 3rd in the Premier League, though. Chelsea and Newcastle have gotten off to terrific starts. For argument's sake, let's say we win our next game, then we are 2 points off Newcastle, 5 points off Chelsea, but then what, 6 points ahead of Palace, which is great. But when it comes to the Champions League, we have absolutely brained it. We finished 5th here. Newcastle United top. And there are some unexpected teams around here, but we get to skip the playoff phase. Liverpool, Madrid, Leverkusen, PSG, all in the playoff phase. I swear, if we get drawn up against one of them, I'm going to be so upset. And well, the verdict is in. It's not too bleak, as we have been drawn up against Lille in the Champions League round of 16. Lille ended up beating Roma. They come from behind and beat Roma. Galatasaray took out Dortmund. Real Madrid beat Liverpool. Okay, so a lot of the big guys moved on. But right now, we'll focus on Lille. Full strength starting 11 on the park as we take a trip to France here. Oh my God, man. All right, this is our first Champions League knockout round action, and we could have made it 2-0, but we get a lead. I can't be upset about that. Marquis is going to give us the lead to take back to Merseyside. I want us absolutely thrashing these teams, though. I don't want just a casual 1-0 win. I want a beatdown of Lille, and that is far from a beatdown, but it is a draw, which means we are headed to the Champions League quarterfinals. I would have liked to feel a little more confident after it, but progression in the Champions League is all we can ask for. Oh my God, Anderlecht beat Leipzig 5-1. What is in the water in Belgium? And well, Arsenal are going to get to find out that answer, but we get to find out what is in the water at Villarreal. We beat them in league phase play. I'm feeling confident here as we've drawn the Yellow Submarine in the Champions League quarters. Once again, on the road for the first leg. Bianchi has gone up to an 85 overall. As we get ready for the first leg against Villarreal, we win 4-1. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I say when I want us absolutely dominating and crushing teams. 4-1 in the first leg. Huge lead to take back home. Anderlecht lost. All right, nothing silly here, fellas. I was debating rotating some players and making sure we didn't get any injuries or suspensions, but I just want to make sure. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if we bottled it. We win it, and okay. No injuries, no suspensions, 3-2 victory, 7-3 on aggregate. We have crushed our way to the Champions League semis, but Anderlecht have not. It is going to be between us, Arsenal, Juventus, and Monaco. Oh, that makes me sad, bro. It would have been Anderlecht. It would have been Anderlecht in the semis, but we've got an all-English affair as we face Arsenal. We went toe-to-toe with Arsenal in just about everything last year. They got the wood over us in the Premier League, and I want my revenge. We get the most boring game in Champions League history to start things off at home with a scoreless draw against the Gunners. So we head south to North London for the second leg here, hoping to get ourselves into a Champions League final. This could be huge, fellas. Arsenal versus Tranmere. And Tranmere win it. Olise, our summer signing, has been so crucial through these knockout rounds. We are into a Champions League final here in Season 10. Who are we versing though? Juve or Monaco? The answer to that is going to be Juventus. 5-2 victory for them. Absolutely pumped for that. But as we take a look around the grounds, Real Betis winning an all-Spanish Europa League final. AZ Alkmaar beat Genk to win the Conference League. We finish second in the Premier League here. 3 points off Chelsea. Once again, our slow start to the season hurts us, but we will be back in the Champions League in Season 11. Man United, Liverpool, and City all mid-table, which is wild. Tottenham got relegated. Oh my God. Tottenham have been relegated miserably. 29 points. Tottenham are in the Championship next year. Oh my god. We unfortunately lost the Community Shield to Arsenal at the start of the year. But we go back to back as FA Cup champions and we take down Liverpool in the final, getting a big one over our Merseyside rivals. Whilst Brighton and Hove Albion win a derby matchup between them and Crystal Palace to win the Carabao Cup. God, Elise joining us was such a good move. He has been so good for us this year, man. 29 goals, 3 assists. Cade Gordon's a stud. A quieter year from our Golden Boot winner last season, Ingwe. Armstrong's such a stud. And Yoni, this is the guy I'm most excited about. Trey and Yoni, our first signing, rocking the captain's armband. Can he lead us to a Champions League title here at Tranmere? Oh, good interception. No! Oh my god, I thought I was just about to go through there. Jorgensen with the save. We need to not play so sloppy, and we can't even keep it out from a corner. Good defense there from Dixon. Look at the space in the middle there. That's a good first touch from Guay. Mark Guay. Good touch! Mark! Oh my god, I tried to blast that into the top corner. That was shocking, Jared. No long shot. Nah, they've just fed it through there. Jorgensen is saving our ass. Yoni, I see that man out wide. I think it's Gordon. We've put an absolute peach out there to Gordon. Off the chest. Gonna feed it. Beautifully fed. There's a rainbow man on him. Gui. It goes to Elise. I could have gone back post. I'm just gonna go. Oh, what a save, Trubin. Follow up. Blocked again. Oh, almost got the interception. Nah. They've played it in behind. Zolos shoots it. Oh my god, we got a save on that. I thought he just blasted that behind. We got a glove to it. They're going to get a corner though. This game has been intense. They put that ball in there. They win the header and they hit the post. Oh my god. Mark. Defender flat-footed. Elise. Trying to find somebody. We go back post. We're going to get the header. And it's Cade Gordon who lashes that home at the back post. And with 20 minutes to go, Cade Gordon might have just won us a Champions League final. I thought the keeper was going to get that. But we had the perfect amount of curl on that. Oh, do not allow them to get back into it. We haven't been able to get the ball off the kickoff. My heart just skipped a beat. Come on, lads. Oh, I was an asshole there and just wound down the clock as much as I could. Time wasted it to death there. But I don't care because we have just won a Champions League with Tranmere. What an insane journey. A 10-year rebuild, signing only players from Liverpool or Everton. It was a rebuild where I thought we were never going to escape the third division, but we got there in the end. We got well past there in the end. And it is a first ballot rebuild Hall of Famer that is going to lift the Champions League trophy. A man that I almost sold when we were in the championship. I'm so glad I kept on to Nyoni, and he officially crowns Tranmere Rovers European champions. Lads, if you enjoyed this monster rebuild, make sure you click here to subscribe and click here to check out another video.